So I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos about this already, but I just had to make one too, just kind of share and revel in this. But yeah, Ian Watkins of Lostprophets, he got murked in prison. You know, that's kind of what happens to perverts though, you know, so we weren't surprised, right? He got attacked once before and then he survived that, and people are like, oh, it's only a matter of time. But like I say, it seems like he survived a lot longer than I thought personally. But yeah, eventually he got. And you know, for anybody that doesn't know, yeah, dude was trying to bang a literal baby. Like, you know, there's levels where people just their outrage can, at a certain point there can be no sympathy. When you hear something like that, right? When you're thinking of like, oh, a teenager and then a tween or whatever, you're getting angry and angry, and then you hear like a baby, and you're just like, yeah, dude should be done. Like, get out. And people in prison don't play, man. There's the thing called chomos, right? Once you're labeled a chomo, it's like your days are kind of numbered. And so it's pretty wild to see, you can see that news. And there's not often when people kind of come together and celebrate somebody's death, right? Because a lot of times people are like, man, that's really morbid. But at the same time, a lot of times people are like, yeah, bro, but you know, at a certain point, you kind of have to not, you can't like, where the line is drawn there pretty much, right? Those are the people that we just have absolutely no sympathy for, no empathy. There's no remorse for the people that probably even did it, and they're probably proud. And it's like, it's one of those things where we can just kind of be like, cool. Because it's like the only thing, babies are the only thing that are pure in this world, right? All they want to do is just be loved and taken care of. And when you want to take that away from them and destroy their lives forever, scar them forever, it's like, it's the cardinal sin. It's the worst thing you can do. Most people think that's worse than like offing somebody, clearly, because that person, somebody offed him, and then people are celebrating, right? But if it would be a little bit weird if, like, say the guy that took him out, you know, sexually assaulted him to death, because then it'd be like, well, that's kind of crazy. You would feel a little bit different. You wouldn't care that Ian Watkins is gone, but you'd also be like, geez, that's kind of, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, but if it's just like, oh, he got him, probably some prison shiv or whatever, and that's it. It's like, well, good job, man. It's kind of like, there's a lot of people that were trying to pretend like they, what was it, Brian Thompson, the CEO, when he got taken out. There were some people, some grifters out there being like, oh, dude, look at these people. Look at the liberals celebrating. And I'm like, liberals? Go to any comment section anywhere. Like when you saw these freaks like, Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, pick any of these right-wing grifters. When you went to their comment sections when they made videos, their fans were like, yeah, bro, I don't care either. That guy sucks. There's people that are like, I have United Healthcare, and yeah, my premiums suck. And they kept going up and up, and these people were just always continuing to maximize profits, right? Because when your healthcare is in a for-profit system, what are they gonna do? Find ways to make more money. These people aren't trying to just sustain their income, right? You know how, like, say a regular person, they're just like, oh, okay, I make this amount of money per hour, and hopefully they get a raise at some point, but usually they're just sustaining that level. Usually just sustaining it. But no, for profit and under capitalism, all they're trying to do is, how do we make more? How do we make more? Oh, we cut costs. We make things worse for you, so nobody felt bad, right? And so that's an example of people coming together and we're like, yeah, I don't care about that guy. That guy was making a lot of people's lives miserable. And then obviously people like Ian Watkins are making children's lives and by proxy their family members' lives absolutely miserable, because you have to think about it. Think about, like, to the people that it happened to that have been abused when they were kids and how messed up. I knew people like that. I knew somebody who was so messed up, and she told me one time in high school what happened to her as a kid, and it stuck with me, man. It kind of scarred me a little bit, because like someone she should have trusted, the neighbor's dad, was abusing her. You know, while the mom neighbor and her own mom would go out shopping, the neighbor dad would be like, oh yeah, let's go, you know, I'll watch the kids or whatever. And then it's just like, bro, like, and you hear about this stuff and you're like, oh my God, Like, damn. Like, it's so upsetting. It's so absolutely upsetting to hear that kind of stuff. And then you just have no sympathy for those people. They're like, bro, what are you doing? You can't, like, it's just, I don't know. It breaks my heart, man. Like, the more, like, I talk about it, and then I kind of just had flashbacks of her telling me, and then it just kind of, like, it just kind of threw me off a little bit. Like, it threw me off. But this is the kind of stuff that, like, I hope more people keep the same energy, right? So we can continue to not stop talking about the Epstein files being released. And then we can also talk about the religious institutions that are abusing children on a daily basis. Like, that's something that is so important to me, that I see so many people that swear they care about kids, and they always talk about protecting kids, and we got to protect them from groomers, right? They'll go after, like, trans people or whatever, gay people. And then there will be, like, no cases, or, like, say, oh, 3 cases in, like, 10 years or something. You're like, okay. And then over a year, thousands of cases of child abuse within religious institutions. Fucking pastors and religious leaders getting arrested on a weekly basis, getting caught with the CSAM, or getting caught, like, because they were abusing someone at some point. And it's like, bro, why is no one talking about this? I bring these numbers up every once in a while in videos and in passing, because I want people to understand that within the Boy Scouts alone, there have been over 80,000 cases of child abuse cases, sexual abuse. 80,000, over 80,000. What the hell's going on? Why does that thing still exist? You feel me? Why does it still exist? And here I am, happened to see a bunch of these fucking chuds that were pretending to be upset that they changed the name from the Boy Scouts to the Scouts to make it more inclusive. Oh, what an outrage. I had to see people online cry about that shit. But not a word about the child abuse that has taken place within the Scouts. Not a word. And I have to be somebody who's actually genuinely upset about this shit, have to see people not care about that. So I'm just saying, keep the same energy is all I'm saying, because I'm seeing a lot of people celebrate about this guy. I'm seeing that, and I'm like, I have no qualms with that at all. I'm like, good. But now keep the same energy, right? Don't let up about this Epstein stuff either, because a lot of kids were abused, obviously. And we still don't know who did all this stuff. We speculate about some of them. Seems pretty obvious that Trump had something to do with it. I mean, dude bought a teen pageant. Like, are you a teenage pageant? Like, what? Best friends with Epstein? What? Was his neighbor essentially? They live in Palm Beach, like just a little ways from each other? I mean, Bill Clinton being on that damn plane, like, wow, dozens of times? You know, there are some people that it's like, I think we know who are the major candidates, but then we have people that don't represent us, that are too scared to do what needs to be done, right? Now there's some people, right? You saw the Democrats were like all voting like, yes, release the files, and all the Republicans were like, no. We've seen that. We saw that. I hope people are getting more of a picture about that. And when it comes to voting for bills and voting for motions and stuff like that, keep that same energy too. Because when it comes to, hey, we need to stop price gouging, the Democrats were like, vote yes. Republicans vote no. Hey, we need drugs to be cheaper. Democrats, yes. Republicans, no. I can go on for like 20 minutes how many times that happens. And I'm not even saying that the Democrats are good. They're better than the cesspool that is on the right. They are better than them. But the Democrats are also corporatists too. They're trying to maintain the status quo. They're not trying to fix anything. But they're at least doing bare minimum. They're trying. Pisses me off that they won't do more. But it's more than just saying no to all these things that would affect us, including protecting kids. There are laws passed by Republicans in red states that are like, oh, we're going to just take out, I think in Tennessee, if I remember correctly, there's not going to be an age limit or requirement to marry. Excuse me? What the hell does that mean? Why is that even a thing? What could that mean other than wanting to marry kids? Why would that be a thing? Like, hello. So I'm just saying, I know this is supposed to be a music channel. It's supposed to talk about Ian Watkins and Lostprophets. To be fair, I don't care about that band. Never liked the band. Never listened to them other than hearing the news. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. And you're like, well, bye, dude. Sure, I feel bad for the other members and stuff like that. It absolutely ruined a thing that they had going on and stuff like that, and they were obviously horrified when they found out that their singer was an absolute monster. It's unfortunate, but again, I just want people to keep that energy, please. A lot of things that I relayed in this in this video, if you've never heard of it, please go look it up. Don't just take my word for it. Go look at all this stuff. Look at all these abuse cases. Go find out and go find out how bad things truly are. Get upset, get angry, ask questions to your representatives why they don't do anything about this. I know why. Because they're fine. They're bought and paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care about children or people or anybody being abused or, them getting shot up by guns or people dying of poor or famine or they don't care about none of that shit. As long as they're taken care of, as long as they get theirs. But I'm like, why not ask them to their face? See what they have to say. And so, yeah, I thought I'd just take this opportunity to talk about this because it would just give me the opportunity to talk about this other stuff. If you hear anybody talking about protecting children or anything like that, bring up these things that I brought up. See what they have to say about it and question them and see, like, why don't they ever talk about this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because it might even guilt them and to maybe start advocating for children and really trying to protect them. That would be the best case scenario. Maybe embarrass somebody and they'd be like, oh yeah, I don't really care about kids and maybe I really should. I didn't know about any of this stuff and maybe I really should start caring. It would be nice. It would be a start. But that's it, guys. Yeah, again, this is pretty much a music channel. So I'm going to keep it music related. And yeah, so moving forward, I'll probably drop some type of cover. Some music cover or something like that pretty soon. But all right, do me a favor. Hit the like button on the way out. I'd appreciate it.